All right, welcome to this first step, which is going to be about transferring and organizing photos. And this particular step actually won't involve Lightroom because our first focus is to just understand the organizing process so that the moment you do any sort of a shoot, you exactly know where to put the photos on your computer or on your hard drive. We'll also be talking later on where exactly should you be putting your photos. But initially, I'm just going to be showing you the organization structure that I follow to store my photos. Now, this is kind of important because later on, once we do go into Lightroom and we start importing our photographs, what's going to happen is that this structure that we follow on our computer is going to get mimicked or replicated inside Lightroom. And we do all this so that everything stays organized. And if we have to find something, it becomes very easy if you have to find a particular type of a photograph. Okay. So what we're going to do here in this particular video is that we're actually going to be taking a practical example. So you would be getting your hands on some photographs, okay, which I've given to you in the resources, which is just about to come. And we're going to assume that we've just done a shoot and all these photographs are on our SD card here. So right from scratch, if we put in this SD card inside our computer, just like we normally do after a shoot, what are the exact steps that we have to take in order to transfer our photos? All right, so I am on a Windows computer, but you must have often seen these drives, partitioned like this. So this is that screen. And if you see this particular screen, it says Elements F drive. This is actually my external hard drive. And later on, I'll be talking about why an external hard drive is the best place to keep your photographs. Okay, but right now, this is already plugged into my computer. So let me just go there. And here I have some different folders, but the main folder where I keep all my photographs is nicely organized in this folder called Photos by Kush. You can call it anything that you want, doesn't matter. But here is the important part. Once you open this, okay, just one folder. Rest of the folders have got nothing to do with my photographs. But if I open this one, now within this, I have different categories like this, like events, food, landscape, macro, and all these things, okay? So when it comes to organizing your photographs, there are different schools of thoughts. Like some people prefer to do it by date. Some people, they just put in the photographs. They don't really even categorize like this. But this, I have personally found to be the one that is used the most. And I really like it because it makes it very organized. And also, it makes it very easy to find your photographs. And remember, like I said, even the structure later on within Lightroom is going to exactly look like this. Okay, so let's just go into these folders and just see what's happening here. Okay, so for instance, let's say if I was to open landscape, cityscape, and travel. Okay, by the way, it doesn't matter. It's not important how you exactly name them. Some people might like to just have landscape. Maybe that's for nature-oriented landscape shots, and you might have a different folder for travel. That's perfectly fine and is completely your choice. Main thing is do divide it into categories. Okay. Now let's say if I was to open this, now this is where me personally speaking, I'm not a very organized person. Okay. I've seen a lot of photographers who are very organized. They'll properly put their folders. I just kind of name them roughly like, okay, Kerala 2017, Goa 2019, New Zealand 2017, something like that. Sometimes I don't even name the folders. Now, that's partly because I'm not a very organized person. Secondly, this category is something that is not, let's say, my bread and butter. I mean, this I just do for hobby. But later on, for example, in the portraits category, because I provide services of shooting to people in my city of Pune, I do take that seriously, and I do take even these subcategories seriously there. So there's a lot of leeway as to how you exactly operate. There's no fixed system to follow. You can have a bit of freedom. Okay, so this is kind of like more like a strategy that, yes, my overall house and my rooms look very clean, but the moment you go inside and open up the cupboard, I'm not very good at that. You can think of it like that, okay? And within that, obviously, like for example, you're going to have your different photographs. So these are some of the photographs that I took in my New Zealand trip, okay? But let's see a slightly more organized folder, which kind of means more to me, okay? So for instance, if I open up the portraits folder, now there's something I do professionally. So, right from each year, now I have within that, there's a subcategory for the year that I've done the shoot in. So for instance, let's say if I open up the shoots that I've done in 2023. So if I open this up, and here also you can see I further have folders. So now a subcategory has a subcategory of its own. So because here I like to be really organized so that, again, since this is going to be mimicked inside Lightroom, if I have to search for a particular photograph, it'll be very easy for me to do this. So I like to be very organized here. For instance, let's say I want to open one of these folders. Now within that, okay, now I know this is under 2023. It says December Yash. That means this person called Yash, and I've done a shoot in December 2023. So now if I was to open that, obviously this would have all the photographs from that particular shoot. Let's go back to another folder, just one last time, okay? Maybe something that, it's fun for me, but not too important. So let's say trick photography, for example. This is something I like doing, okay? And here you can see I've just named it in a different way. That, okay, just from the type of shoot that I was doing, okay, this was a mini kush shoot where I was turning myself into a little kush, okay? So it's like a part of trick photography. And let's say this was where I was creating a fake portal. And let's say this was miniature nuts. So I was like cracking nuts. I was again a mini version of myself. This is like a miniature soft drink. So it kind of helps me remember, that I took all these shoots to, let's say form a shot like this one. So this was like the final result out of, I got from that. So I hope you get the overall point. Categories within that subcategories, and it completely depends on you as a photographer. How many subcategories are going to be there? How you structure within those categories is completely up to you. But at the very least, okay, the main categories, this is a structure that you should be following. Now that you know this, what we're going to do in the next video is we're actually going to transfer some actual photographs. So we're going to completely take a fake scenario by I'll be giving you some images, and you'll actually transfer that and organize it into into like a structure like this. So let's do that.